So, hello everyone. Welcome you all. Today, I am your host and myself, Shraddha. Today, we are going to talk on a very interesting topic that is become self reliant. So, now for this, today we call a very reputed person from education sector, Mr. Indranil Banerjee. He is a principal of Imperial Academy School of Indore, as well as he is an avid sports fan, vice president of CSIP Group of MP, a member of Indore Innovative Educations Group, Indore Sahodaya. He is also associated with NGTO and working for the upliftment of private teachers. He loves to read and write. So now we move to Indranil sir.
Oh, a very good evening to all the people out there who have logged in for this particular edition of the show. And so the topic today actually is self-reliance. And according to Merriam-Webster, self-reliance is what? Reliance on one's own efforts and abilities. But actually, Sahi Maine mein, which does not quite do the concept much justice. Self-reliant people, as I believe, see the world around them based on their own capabilities and resources. So now, since I am a principal of a school, I would like this concept of self-reliance to be based on how we can make our students self-reliant. So actually this is one thing which everyone should accept, that kids should develop their own decision making capability. They should be they should be more confident and stuff like that. So now the first thing is, why do you think a person should be self-reliant? That is a question which comes to everyone's mind. Is it necessary? Why should we, right? So personally, I believe that everyone should be self-reliant. Now, how do we do that? Number one, accepting yourself and being your own best friend. That is number one. Then there is something called inner confidence. This is the second thing. Then making our own decisions. Then the fourth, recognize and manage dependence. Okay. The fifth, accept yourself for who you are. Don't try to be someone else. Okay. Having your own values, not relying on things to feel happiness. Decide who you want to be and how you want to get there. Right now, these 8 points, I have segregated and kept aside for a person to be self-reliant. These are 8 things which are very, very not very difficult, and which can be implemented by anyone. So they can do it they can practice at home. Okay. And it would be like valuing yourself. So it is going to help you. And but now I told you in the beginning that, see, today this discussion on self-reliance will be strictly for my students. Okay. Because we want to make self-reliant students. So I have prepared a small what do I say, a small presentation. And I know that generally all these talk shows, they get kind of boring, but I have made it in the form of a presentation so that it is pretty easy, and something which will be very easily digestible, and you will love it. Okay, so I made it like that. So here is a presentation for you, and I'll be there, I'll be explaining you step by step as to my feelings about these points. Okay, so now this is what it is. uh, 10 ways to be self-reliant. Okay, this is for the students, and here the parents and the teachers, we are going to make sure that uh, how we implement it on the students. Okay, so the first thing, you should encourage public speaking. Now, how do you do that? uh, See, in school, uh, we can have workshops, we can have a speech class, and we can involve these kids in the speech class, or or the elocution, or in the extempore, or in the debate team, so that these people develop the habit of standing in front of masses, and saying what they want to feel talk about, right? So what happens as a result is, it boosts up the confidence of that particular student, where communication skill is concerned. And I guess many students complain about stage fright. Okay, अरे नहीं नहीं अरे मेरे को डर लग रहा है, when you call them on stage and stuff. So you can start from the class, and then you can move on, say, to the assembly, and then gradually you can increase the masses by letting that student participate in the annual function. Okay, so it is going to boost his confidence, and it is going to help, really help. Then another thing is, learning the appropriate way to speak to a variety of people. You see, speaking is an art, and I believe that the person should know how to speak to whom, and that is very, very important. If you are speaking to your teacher, how will you speak, right? If you are speaking to your mother, how will you speak? If you're speaking to your brother or your friend, so there are different, uh, uh, there are changes, slight changes in the way you address people, in your emotion, in your expressions and stuff. So these things should be taught, and when you do this, that learning becomes very enjoyable. Okay, so especially when in the teenage, the high school students, 9, 10, 11, 12, they need to know how to address their friends, their teachers, or the management and stuff. Now, the next is practice negotiation. See, you know what is this? What am I trying to say? Well, uh, generally, all the kids, uh, they really try ways and means to come out of rules and regulations. Okay, discipline is something which they really they don't really like, but this is how you can actually make the child enjoy this discipline. Okay, and they will feel that they have a hand in this incorporation of discipline. Okay, so you can have a family planning. Now, this family planning is something different. Um, a planning session of the family uh, for rule setting, in which the kids play an important role. Okay, so the kids are going to they are going to give their inputs and stuff, that raat ko suno 9 baje tak your dinner should be over by 9. So the child might say, papa 9 nahi 9:30 karte hain. Okay, and stuff like that. And finally the time is fixed, say maybe at 9:15, and the child feels like, okay, I have contributed in this discussion. Okay, something like that. This can be done in the school also by you know uh, having a session where you involve the students of the class in deciding, say, uh, you know um, the monitor, or maybe other blackboard monitor and stuff. And you involve every student, all the students, and you tell them how to do it. And so they have a sense of involvement in this particular activity. And and they give their inputs. Okay, so parents should teach them the invaluable skills of fair compromise, ah, and negotiation with authority figures. Now see, you have to have two things. One is that might be that whatever a suggestion you have given is not acceptable to the majority, right? But then you can negotiate in such a way that you come to something close to it. Okay, so this is an art, and it should be developed gradually by activities like this. Okay, so you can you can say that, see, after the break is over, I want the class monitor and such people in the class 5 minutes before the bell rings. So now everyone is sitting out there and they say, sir, 5 minutes. No, sir, 3 minutes. Someone says, no, sir, we are there. I mean, just outside. It doesn't matter, sir. We don't have to take 5 minutes, sir. 3 minutes or 2 minutes is just enough. And, and then you negotiate, the kids negotiate, and they come to some, fair compromise and stuff. So it gives them a sense of achievement. Okay. Then the third point, model time management and organizational skills. I guess this is one thing which is very, very important. And time management is something which the students as well as many people in the family do not follow at all. Okay, so if we can do this, you see, kids actually copy what their elders are doing. Okay, so it would be very easy in a family as well as in the school. The class teacher can do that, can implement it in the class itself. So you can have, you can do it like month wise. Let's see, this month we have our class tests. So, so you can highlight them. You can make, you have a calendar, and in that calendar for that particular month, you can highlight all those things. And you can tell them that, say, this is the date, I want certain things to be finished before this. Okay, let's chalk out a plan. Okay, then uh, you can have a weekly planner. Okay, or to-do list. uh, I mean, so that may start with small things. Okay, start with small things, and then you can make it large. Okay, it won't be difficult once the child gets the hang of it. So and this is going to help everyone. I mean, not only the student, I mean, the teacher, even the management, and everyone will see the difference. Okay, it is going to help. So I guess this is one very, very important point which all of us, including the student, has to follow. And it will help. Okay, now teach self-sufficiency. um, you know, when we talk about self-sufficiency, Actually, I am trying to reduce dependency. Okay. So when the kids do things for themselves, they become more confident, and it is quite natural. Okay. So at home, you can assign the child certain responsibilities, like make the bed. Okay. Um, you can fill up the water from the aquaguard, or like do the laundry and stuff. Okay. Or you give them, this is a very nice this thing for all those students um, who are actually uh, seniors. They can cook. Okay. So you can make them responsible for a family meal each week. So this way, you are assigning some responsibility, and which the child will try his level best to fulfill. And uh, obviously will make them independent. Okay. So this is another lovely point which I want to be implemented. Encourage independence at school. That means, see, now it is time that after a certain age, you know the kids should take responsibility of their academic careers. They should decide that, see, I think I should not attend to this phone call. I think I should not watch this serial right now because I have a homework to finish. I have such and such assignment, you know, and this is going to develop a sense of responsibility, obviously, in the child. uh, will incorporate time management. So many things fall into the slots if these things happen. Should keep track of assignments and their due dates. So that is, tell them to chalk out a timetable, and monitor your status regarding the assignments, the projects, whatever are due. Okay. The child should communicate independently with counselors and teachers. This is independence. That means you tell the if you have a counselor in your school, the child can goes up to that counselor and says, I get angry when someone takes a piece of that apple which I have in my tiffin, and I get angry. Or if someone takes a sip from my water bottle, I get angry. What should I do? Okay. So that shows independence. Okay. So when the child can communicate directly to the counselor and teacher and talk about his or her own feeling, right? uh, then the child has the independence to participate in extracurricular activities of their choice. नहीं, मुझे यही खेलना है. I love this and I want to play this. In our country, there are some, सब अभी भी हैं parents who say, नहीं नहीं, अरे cricket खेलो तुम, अरे cricket कितना अच्छा game है. Well, that child might not like it. So let that child decide on his own. कि नहीं, after playing badminton and hockey and football and cricket, I think I I would enjoy playing badminton more. So let them do. Okay? And rather, see, this last line is very, very important. Kids appreciate room to succeed or to make mistakes on their own. So it is an experience for them. So let them, enjoy the feeling. You should not in any way, uh, you know, take them out of this lovely experience. Okay, let them enjoy it. Listen with an open mind. So it is quite natural. Kids, they disagree at times with their parents. It is quite natural. Okay, so those who fear disapproval or punishment often hide the truth. But there are kids who are confident. Okay, so they know that when I talk to my father or my mother, and I can handle it. They're that confident. Okay, so those kids, they will be more prepared to express themselves in difficult situations. Okay, so try to prepare the children in this way that, number one, you have to have an open mind. I would like, like my son came up to me one day and said, okay, Papa, he was in class fourth or fifth, okay, and he comes up to me and says, Papa, that girl is saying I love you. I said, fine, that's okay. I love you too. So you see how you handle it, and see, when you have an open mind, and when you listen to that kind of thing, it is quite natural for a child to say like that. Okay, that child doesn't understand. You have to handle it in such a way that it should not look bad. Okay, it's quite natural to love people. It's okay. So you see, when you are that much open with the child, then the child finds it easy to flourish, right? Then provide a structure. What do you mean by that? See, discipline must be there. Otherwise, the kids, they have a problem. So there should be discipline, but the teachers or the parents uh, should have a little bit of independence and communication. तो ये discipline में भी मजा आता है. How do you do that? Okay, so you say that 9 o'clock you should be inside the house by 9. Suppose, okay, the child goes to a coaching, say, and the coaching finishes at 8:30 in the evening. You say, Dekho, you have to be at home by 9, right? Now, that child gets late, tire puncture or whatever. So, that child communicates to you when he comes and he says, okay, fine, I had a tire puncture, and, it is a genuine problem, and it is now 9:20, right? So you understand that, and you say, that's okay, ja, wash your hands, and, chalo, let's have dinner together. So when you have this kind of an interaction, I think the children, they are more successful in life. Okay, so discipline doesn't mean strictness. Discipline means that with the help of which the child actually gets a direction. Okay, and then there is another thing. This is very, very important. It is. I think it happens in every school all over the world. Remember that every story has two sides. Okay, so that means your son comes to you from school and says, मालूम सर ने मेरे को ना बहुत मारा है, या बहुत डांटा है, या whatever. सर ने मेरे को ना ऐसे ही खड़ा कर दिया, and did not let me play. Okay, now that is one side of the story. So I would always suggest that get your facts correct. Listen to the other side also. So when kids are frustrated or hurt, they may embellish the truth. ये fact है. So don't get hyper just like that. Listen to one side of the story and then listen to the other side too. Then you can come to a sound decision. So parents, teachers, when they know the facts, can effectively help the children to learn to respond to disappointing or difficult life scenarios. So this is very, very important. So I guess this one is something which is very, very important. Every person has self-respect. So I guess that the child should feel good about himself or herself. When that child feels good about himself or herself, they stand up for themselves. Okay. So a confident child will not be afraid to speak up. Make it a point that the child understands this. Okay. Last but not the least, I guess, teach logical conflict resolution. Okay, you see, there should be, the conflicts are quite natural. We are human beings, but then there must be a logical solution to it. So initially, the parents, they play the main role in resolving all these everyday dilemmas, but then you have to teach them model thinking, calmly and critically. That see, ये ठीक है, तुम लोग दोनों में झगड़ा हो गया, fine, that's okay. Now किस बात पे झगड़ा हुआ? नहीं, वो ऐसा है, मेरे से पेंसिल मांग रहा था. I said, fine. Now The thing is he your best friend? Well, yes, he's my best friend. Fine. Did you have an extra pencil? Yes, I had. Okay. Then you could have given it to him. Or I had only one pencil. I said, then you could have told him no in a much better way, right? Instead of fighting. So these things, logical conflict resolution is very, very important. Now, when you do all this, I guess, um, you are actually developing a child who is self-reliant and will flourish in his or her life. I am not going to take much more of your time. I want all of you um, to follow us in AmbiClass. We'll come forth with some more new issues in our coming sessions. Thank you, everyone, for a patient hearing and watching our talk show. Happy New Year to you all. Stay safe. Thank you. Thank you so much.